Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me again. Today we are covering the mining drones mod by Clonin, who is a Factorio dev. Man, it seems like every mod he releases is just like crazier and crazier and more advanced, and this is absolutely no exception. So this adds in a couple special things. They're tied together, of course. It adds in two things. So it adds in a mining depot as well as mining drones, which are basically clones of us, which is pretty interesting. Now, before I continue, I do want to really quickly mention, I know I did say I was probably going to do like the upgrade cursor mod. I'll do that next week. This one was just way too cool to pass up. So what does this do? Well, as the name would indicate, it has these drones, or these clones, that will mine ores for you, and the intent of this is to basically be a replacement for mining drills. You could, of course, do it in conjunction with, but it gets kind of annoying. I think the reason he made this, he said, was because, he just gets so annoyed of placing mining drills over and over and over again before construction bots, and it's just such a pain. With this, you don't have to do that. So you can make the mining depot, which is fairly expensive, and then the mining drones, which are actually pretty costly, seeing as it only gives you one. So you get this mining depot, and these are unlocked from the very beginning of the game. I have no research unlocked. So these are unlocked from the get-go, okay, because they're supposed to replace mining drills. There are two techs for them. There's mining drone mining speed, walking speed, cargo bonus, and actual mining speed, and this is infinite as well as this one, which is drone productivity. So it's basically like productivity for mining drills, but with the drones, so they have a chance to produce extra ore, and they're both infinite. Okay, so you place this, you take this mining depot, and you can see here it has a, well, basically two ways it can face. You want it facing this way towards the patch, because this is like the deployment pad here. And then when you mouse over it, this is the area it'll cover. It covers an 80 by 80 area, which is pretty huge. Now, you do need to go in here and set the thing you actually want them to mine to tell them what it is. You can't set multiple. Per station depot, and then I don't know, like randomly when I record videos, people message me. Anyway, so you set this, and you then need to put your drones in, and this can hold 100 drones, potentially more in some cases. He says, he doesn't say under what cases, under what conditions, but it can potentially hold more in some cases. So then you just drop them in, and these guys are going to run out and mine the resource. Now, this does not require power, because obviously you shouldn't really need power for like clone people to work. And then it's going to output the resources like in here. So let's say we dump like 2 in here for now. These guys are going to run out, and they're going to start chinking away at this ore, and they actually hold a fair amount. It seems kind of different per time. So this was 14. And then this one was obviously way more than 14. So it seems like kind of random how much they bring, from what I can tell. This guy does look bigger, and he's bringing back more, so maybe that has an effect. But if we stick, say, more in here, these guys are just going to be deployed, and, oh man, they're going to go to town. Now, it's really loud, unfortunately. You may want to turn your sound down or just not stay near it, but you can see this actually produces quite a lot of ore. I deployed, what, 35 in here? But you do have to keep in mind, they're fairly expensive. That would be quite a lot of materials to make this many. And then you could just take inserters and output here. So let's go ahead and enable God mode? No. Cheat mode is on. Why is it not giving me stuff? Let's research all technologies. So if we just say put down a few solar panels here really quick, and just a few inserters, and do this, you can see outputs here. You can put it on the belts, use fast inserters, etc. It'll actually output from anywhere on here, so you could just line these like that. And it is actually full, almost, I think, which is why it's stopped, because these guys will deploy based on like how many resources are in this. So if it gets really low, then it will deploy more of them, as you can see here, which is pretty awesome. So this thing is really cool. Now, in terms of performance, I'm sure you're wondering, according to Clonin, he said that this is Not that performance heavy. He said you'll only start noticing UPS drops if you get up to about 10,000 or more drones working at the same time, which is a lot. I mean, that's, you know, like, what, 100 of these? Which is pretty significant. So you can see these guys going. I mean, this thing alone can hold 100, which is pretty ridiculous. If we could output them fast enough, they output the ore fast enough, they'd all be going to town. You can see them just running out. They do mine what's closer, so you would have a bit of uneven, like they would mine the patch from closest to farthest. But if you're only using these, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And there you go. So there's the mod, guys. I know it was a bit longer of an explanation, but I did want to make sure I covered everything. There are no mod settings for this in any of these tabs. So no mod settings there, but pretty easy to set up and work with. And again, requires no power. This was just for the inserter. So anyway, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Link to the mod portal where you can check out this mod and download it. I think it's really cool, really innovative, interesting way to do things. I've never seen anything quite like this. Similar things with robots, but not quite like this, which I think is it's pretty cool. Anyway, if you have any questions, thoughts, leave them below, or you can ask them to clone directly on the mod portal page for this. And I think that's going to do it. Anyway, until next time, guys, take care, and I look forward to seeing you all.